Are you the one when I try to look, I wish I'd find? Oh, how can I love when I've been hurt 100 times? For you I give it one more try. Turn away and wrestle with my doubts. Oh, I leave them all behind, but don't know how. Bury my head deep within the crowd, but I'm reaching for your hand to pull me out. Oh, are you the one when I try to look, I wish I'd find? Oh, how can I love when I've been hurt 100 times?
Well, this one is a knocker. Step in on the dance and I just my dance. Everything's scattered. Right? Right?
Come cross.
Right now, man, active. Down with the game like a bandit. Me bring the flame like a matches. Test me now. Cut out the slackness. Active style and pattern. That's how my there. Active. 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 One live like massive. Talking up and off the brandish. Touch road and hold the world hostage. When I start the bumper clad mash pit. When me step out to the place get active. 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 Hey, catch a style now. Clocks on the teeth side. Bad bitch on each side. Big splits chillin' on the beat side. Run things where you feel like. Cake big, have a carve out of peace side. Freestyle now, millions from each line. Too cool, when I need ice in my beverage. Test this bigger, please find the exit. Right now, man, active. Gone with the game like a bandit. We bring the flame like a mattress. Let's me know. Cut out the slackness, active style and pattern. That's how man there. Active. 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 One live like massive. Talking up and off the brandish. Touch road and hold the world hostage. When I start the bumper clad mash pit. When me step out, all this get active. 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 Active.
Motherfucker really up, down chillin' with the homies, I don't really go fuck. Got a bad bitch, she gonna make jet. What the fuck going on? Bitch, you better bring her up. Why you looking like a snap, bitch? I put you in a car fight. Like, bitch, you better get the fuck up. Bought another round, cause I'm getting fucked up. I'ma put you in the dirt, bitch, I ain't gonna find you a bad motherfucker. I'm looking for the phone, really yo, motherfucker really I'ma put you in the dirt, motherfucker really yo, motherfucker really I'ma hit the fucking jerk, motherfucker really yo, motherfucker really I'ma put you in the dirt, motherfucker really yo, motherfucker really I'ma hit the fucking jerk, motherfucker really the fuck with the fuck, I don't go for bitch, I just wanna hit the bar, I just wanna be the best, I just wanna get up, I ain't never trusted anybody else in my life, yo, I don't go for bitch, I just wanna go, bitch, you know I'm on the road, bitch, I'm making so much cash, I can't see the fuck, yeah, 0 to 100, bitch, you know I'm about to blow, John Cena, bitch, you better hide your fucking face, you some motherfucker, I gaze in every place, you some fucking fake, bitch, you better get it safe, cause I'm fitting here, I'm late, cause I'm fitting here, safe, in Tokyo, with an all green fit, no jackets, JDM cars, bitch, you know I'm fucking retro, if you wanna fuck, I can take it to my bedroom, pop a fucking bean, and I ain't talking bento, city lights, bitch, you know I'm in a trance, she's a fucking toss, so I drop my pants, when it got bitch, she got all of my sons, yo, took it to the bed, yeah, she got me home, yo, motherfucker really, I'ma put you in the dirt, motherfucker really, yo, motherfucker really, I'ma hit the fucking jerk, motherfucker really, yo, motherfucker really, I'ma put you in the dirt, motherfucker really, yo, motherfucker really, I'ma hit the fucking jerk, motherfucker really,
You and me, hanging from the willow tree, quietly drifting in the open breeze. Suddenly, the wind blows you away from me. Now I see we from the same branch and leaves, wild and free, living here in harmony. Don't you see? This is where you want to be. When you leave, the world is never what it seems. If only we could travel back in time. Whoa, right where we belong. Maybe we'll never need a reason why. Whoa, dancing till the dawn. If only we could travel back in time. Whoa, right where we belong. Maybe we'll never need a reason why. Whoa, dancing till the dawn.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are now going to be getting underway with our round 4 draw show. Down to just a couple of brackets to work with here, guys. The 1 and 2 bracket and the 2 and 1 bracket. I believe we're going to be starting out with the 1 and 2 teams. Isn't that right, Bully?
Yep.
Perfect, perfect. And we were just discussing as well before we went live, which out of the 1 and 2 teams, who we think is perhaps the weakest, perhaps the strongest out of these contenders. Thoughts, Storm, or who would you single out as being perhaps the strongest 1 and 2 and the weakest?
I think strongest, you're definitely looking at probably XSV. I think either the XSV teams, I think, are both pretty good. I think Justice is probably the least. I'd say they're second. I think that Conduit team's also pretty good. As far as the weaker teams, I think it's probably Imperial Gaming. There would be kind of my picks, I think, for the weakest overall.
Yeah. Imperial Gaming kind of narrowly able to get past Mint Mafia in that 0-2 match, whereas XSV Envy, I believe, had a pretty dominating win over XG. Glor Snacks, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I think the two better teams here is for the lower bracket is Envy, and I do think I don't know, man. It could be CCI as well. But I think CCI, they're able to take like some pride in this, but I feel like their run kind of ends here. Justice, I think, got, kind of smacked around tonight. And, it's not good hopes for this, of course. I think the only one matchup that you don't want if you're either XSV team is, the Civil War. Because it would suck to eliminate your brother.
Yeah, that definitely would suck for the org. Bully, any teams that you think are especially strong or weak in this bracket?
I still think that Envy had a pretty shit draw until this
sure.
last match. So I think there's anyone that's coming out of this 1-2, I would say that the highest chance is gonna be Envy.
All right.
If there's anybody else that I think might be a wild card, maybe Justice. CCI is always going to be my dark horse. It just feels like they could do anything, and then Chosen Inters have been proving themselves at least very competitive.
Yeah.
Because what they've taken a game off Iceborne, taken a game off Monkey's Business. So it's
Yes,
not like
right.
they're not going down without a fight on any of these losses.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely hoping to see if Envy can get a little bit more favorable draw here, given how rough it was for them in the first couple of rounds. They got some pretty tough opponents. But let's just go ahead and get into it, shall we? Let's see who's up first.
Yeah, and we did discuss some matchups that can't be played for this 1-2 bracket. Iceborne cannot play Spire again, and then, or sorry, not for this one. Justice cannot play IG, and then Asylum can't play IG. So
Okay,
IG has
well,
options.
the nuke has been drawn, unfortunately. We're going to instantly start with Envy, who, despite winning tonight, I did cast that with Mr. Box Kimchi. That was funny. Funny cast. I definitely feel like that was a very interesting game, especially with how game one looked. It was domination from the rest of the side except for top. Catfill kind of just died like 4 times in a row in lane. And he just kept
Interesting.
dying on repeat. The second game was a lot better from him. He was able to do a lot more. And, it was able to make the Scion look overpowered, even though we all know Scion's overpowered. So, it
No,
looks to be a
he's weak.
motivated
He needs
team.
buffs.
Yeah, we
No,
saw a pretty
no.
weak Scion performance over here
Yeah.
on our side of the stream, so
Yeah.
we'll see. But I believe the next team that's going to be drawn is going underneath Envy there, yes, in that second match. And it
That's
looks like you got the
Inters.
Inters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the match you probably want, maybe?
Yeah. Probably.
I think so.
I feel like
Maybe not. I mean,
maybe not.
honestly,
I think they're pretty good. Yeah.
I feel like IG is probably really the team that you want. The fact that they were just
Yeah.
barely able to beat Mint tonight, they're definitely looking like they're kind of barely hanging on right now.
Please don't
Let's
be a
see.
chosen Inters versus IG.
And
That
one of
would
them
be a
gets into the
crazy
2-2.
miracle match. Okay,
Okay.
Justice.
Okay, so not
No
the
civil.
XSV Civil War. Yeah.
Okay, we
Yeah,
got
that's
real
big.
close there to an XSV Civil War. Justice is our final technical home game of the
yeah.
night.
And
So they get to wait for their opponent.
another thing is that Imperial will need to be one of the next two drawn. So if they're not drawn here, they're going to be slotted into chosen inters. Or sorry,
Because they already
yeah,
played
Yeah.
against Justice.
because they already
So
play
that's
against
gonna-
Justice.
yeah.
So Imperial will either play XSV, Envy, or chosen inters. So those are two opposite sides of the. Am I going to be in this in like the 2-2 matches, or am I have to like climb up a massive hill?
Yeah, we'll see. Kind of, we're kind of leaning towards the IG draw right here, I think. Easy opponent for Envy, and then they're not going against the
Yeah,
Inters.
okay.
Okay,
Alright.
so
Envy.
XSV, very happy with how this is going so far.
So Envy gets the easier matchup of the two. IG barely beats Mint today, so that is not a realistic chance here. We definitely think that this may be the end of the road for them, but it's a better position in the consolation bracket. But they could pull
True.
off the upset as
Oh,
the
I hope
final
this is
draw
Asylum.
is Asylum. So
I want to see this
chosen.
match because it seems like these two teams might be actually a lot closer than people originally thought.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So
see chosen
Asylum, of
inters.
course, coming here from the 1-0 bracket, unfortunately stumbling against Gluttony, as most teams do, losing the Civil War tonight in Conduit, and that means that CCI will have their last chance, the last dance against XSV Justice. And, CCI, it was, kind of manhandled today, in a way. Would you
Yeah,
would
I
you say
mean,
that?
Justice didn't have a great night out either. They kind of got bodied over there by the Spire as well. So, both of those teams are going to kind of need to bounce back in this 1-2 bracket.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just tough too, because both teams went against, what we consider top four, top three teams already. IOTA versus CCI, and they stomped them. and Spire, who we consider the third best team, just stomping them as well. Like it's really, really tough.
Yeah, tough one for Justice for sure. Especially now, we see how strong Syndicate is. You definitely like looking back at the draws for Justice. They had that IG draw in round 2, but besides that, pretty tough for them so far. But what do you guys think is the most competitive out of these 3 matches that we've got? Storm, what do you think?
It's got to be the middle, right? It's got to be the Chosen Enters versus this Conduit team. I feel like
Mm,
that. I feel like that series should be pretty decent. I feel like XSV Justice versus Crowd Control also has a bit of a possibility.
yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure this XSV series should just be a complete stomp.
The NV versus IG. Yeah,
Yeah,
most
yeah,
likely.
NV.
I mean,
Yeah,
they were the 2-0-2 teams, right? So perhaps if we talk to somebody from IG, they'd be happy to draw Envy, thinking like, Envy is also taken took
yeah.
those initial 2 losses,
Mhm.
but yeah, again, just based on the strength of the teams that they faced, we definitely feel pretty strongly like Envy are favored in that one. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like honestly both for Justice and CCI, they had some decently difficult draws as well. What do you think, Bully?
While we talk about that, I'm actually gonna draw the side selections here.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
we should do that.
Okay.
So obviously we're gonna go heads as the left side, tails on the right side. So first one's gonna be XSV versus IG, and if you're IG, you definitely want this one. And last time we had a lot of heads, and this one's actually start with tails. So IG is gonna get that side selection.
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
we've
that
seen, I
helps
feel
out.
like maybe we've seen, I think, a lot of teams choosing red side, right?
I see a
So,
lot more people choosing blue.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah, I
I'm
feel like
just
choosing blue side is pretty normal. The red side picks is generally weird.
maybe that's why I'm like thinking that it's been more red side picks because the red side picks just like stand out to me more. So it's just like more
Yeah.
memorable. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. Chosen Enters versus Asylum. So it's another tails. So
All
conduit.
right,
Oh,
It's just
Conduit
gonna be
okay.
the opposite, actually.
Okay, now we break the streak. XSV Justice gets the heads, so they get sign select.
Billy can avoid the rigged allegations. If we get aheads here.
Maybe.
They need it. They need it. Honestly.
Let's see. It is heads.
There we go. Nicely
So,
done,
There.
Billy.
so
Yeah.
Justice gets side selection versus CCI.
All right.
Okay. Uh, I definitely think the closest game is probably the most interesting is the middle and the bottom one as well. I mean, this Justice and CCI both just got stomped like super hard, so it's gonna be nice to see which team
Mhm.
recovers from that. You know?
Absolutely. That's I think the main thing that it's that's going to determine that one is who kind of is going to be able to take more learnings away from their loss this week.
Yeah,
Anybody any other
and
thoughts on our 1-2 matches?
I think I'm good. I'm ready to go for the 2-1 matches, the ones that have
Yeah.
a couple more lives, and but just wants to end it and get to playoffs right now.
Let's get into it. So first spin, of course, going to be that top left team
How do
in
you guys
this
like this
first
bird, by the way?
match.
Oh,
Oh, I'm vibing with it. That bird is having a great time, and I'm here
okay,
for it.
that's monkey's business. Okay, wow. Also, congratulations to our 2-2-0 team, our 3-0 teams, Gluttony and Syndicate Squad Zero. Congratulations on getting the 1-2 seed respectively. Next week, you guys will face each other for that one spot, which means you get to have the choice of the 8th seed team. So
Yeah.
it's going to be great. So, monkey's business here after a interesting road, some would say, to these to this 2-1 match. Good to go against XG week 1. Beat them. Did lose to Syndicate Squad Zero this time. Just goes ahead and then beats Chosen Inters as well. So we are in an interesting spot for Monkeys where they could be a 3-1 team. The question is that who is the weaker other team here? And that probably would be Phoenix to me. So if you are Monkeys, you probably want Conduit Phoenix, because everyone else is a nuclear bomb that are upset that they're in the 2-1.
A lot of nukes.
Yeah.
We need to work on some disarmament maybe across the Blue Water League. But Storm, I'm curious actually to hear your thoughts. As we are
Oh,
going to get Dorado next year in that second match. But Storm, I remember
Yep.
talking to you, at the beginning of the season, and you were pretty high on the Monkeys. They've had a relatively easy schedule. They did lose out to Syndicate there in that second round. That was obviously a pretty tough opponent. How are you feeling about the Monkeys now? I believe you had them in like your top 5 at the start of the season, right?
Yeah, I did. It's hard to like gauge them really well, right? Because they beat two teams that I had ranked towards like the bottom half, right? I think I had XG surprise at like 15th or something out of 16. And I had the chosen enters pretty low as well. So like I don't think they've played like one of the other teams. I'm like, oh, I'm expecting them to be super dominant other than Sin Zero. So I haven't really gotten like the games that I was really high on Moonshot coming in. And like they haven't had any of those games that are like absolutely incredible to me. I will also point out they had a game tonight where they went 3-12 as Singed. My God. I mean,
Yeah,
that is
it's
just part of like Singed gaming, but that was my real hype for them was Moonshot in the top lane, and he hasn't exactly delivered to me like the oh my god amazing carry games. Like even the Yone game that they won, he was 1-2. Like he's not the one on that team who's like pulling off these incredible upsets. Like we saw, I can't even remember who it was in season 12, the Trindamere player guy, whoever that was on that Conduit Gremlins team that was just absolutely like destroying every other top laner. I'm sorry, I've forgotten who that was.
I can't remember either. But yeah, definitely. I think the solo laners for the Monkeys need to step up a little bit more, not to perform particularly Moonshot there, as you've been highlighting. 3-12 on Singed. That might be some classic Singed gaming, but definitely need a little bit more stable performances than that to really make a deep run in the playoffs. I will say it was a 0-2 against Syndicate in that second round, but both of those games were actually pretty close. So, it's definitely, I think the jury's still out on the Monkeys. It'll be interesting to see who they draw here in this 2-1 bracket.
okay.
And there is one conflict that can't happen. It's Iceborne versus Spire. So, and luckily that won't happen anyway.
Yeah,
we go.
TSI. So TSI, of course, was the streamed game earlier tonight. It
Yeah,
was very entertaining from the first game. The second game, kind of fell off the rails. Some would say
say
the
that.
game plan kind of exploded in front of you, and you kind of just had to watch the train crash in front of you. Then game 3,
And then another train hit that train and got derailed as
yeah,
well. That was
and then the truth nuke dropped, and
Hate to
it
see it.
fell as Zol is upset. Zol, buddy, you're Dorado. You don't get talked about anymore. Sorry. We are
He's upset
officially
because
paid
we're not
off.
talking about him enough, or
Yeah,
We skipped Dorado
we're
talking.
paid. We're
Yeah.
paid off by Conduit now.
well, we'll talk about him more when we know who his opponent's going to be. So
Yeah,
Just-
it's pretty hard to
just-
talk about when they've dismantled like multiple teams. The only ones that was like close was the first series.
yeah,
Yeah, Dorado's a top
Well-
4 team. There you go, Zol.
there you go.
Top 4, he might be like, that's disrespectful.
Okay, and it is
Oh.
Conduit Phoenix versus Monkeys Business. If you are Monkeys, this was the
You
matchup
are so
wanted.
happy.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
Conduit's
this-
probably pretty happy as well, right?
Oh, Conduit's
Yeah.
very happy here. I mean,
They're both
I think
happy
Monkeys
that
are
they drew
happy
each
too.
other.
Yeah, it's
That's right.
that's crazy.
What a crazy coincidence. Both the teams are happy that they drew each other, thinking that they're gonna have a fun time. And unfortunately, one of them will be sent to the two bracket.
If This is Dorado versus Iceborne. That sucks for Iceborne.
Dorado Iceborne or Dorado Spire, and it is a Truth Nuke
Yeah.
series.
Some bangers here. This is one of our
Yeah,
streamed
these are
matches for sure.
Oh, it's Dorado Iceborne.
All right.
Oh,
Well, I guess we can't stream that
Dorado
one because we've streamed
versus
both of those teams
Iceborne.
already.
We technically
Oh
can
man.
if we really want to. We haven't streamed the first one though. We haven't streamed Monkeys versus like Phoenix, which should also be good.
Yeah, I feel like we
So,
should maybe stream that one. That should be a really close series, I think, too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair
Yeah.
enough. Honestly.
these are
And,
actually 3 good series, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you know, if I am available next week, you could also see a second stream. Shout out to the Scuffed second stream today. Thank you, Bucks Kimchi, for dealing with me.
All right, let's see if I could flip these real quick. So, starting with the top, Monkeys versus Phoenix. Let's go with tails again. Let's see. Nope, it's heads. So that'll be Monkeys grabbing side selection for this one.
All right.
Okay.
And Dorado versus Iceborne. Yeah, Dorado. Iceborne. It was a tough matchup tonight against Gluttony. They weren't really able to get too much going. While Dorado, I believe, did have a pretty dominant win over CCI, right?
Yeah. And
That was the
for the
first
second match, it will be Iceborne that has side selection.
Okay. Let's see if that's going to be enough
Okay.
to help them bounce back against Dorado next week.
Dude, how sucky would it be to play against Dorado in like a 2-2 match?
Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
would be very scary. I mean, either of these teams in the 2-2 bracket is going to be really scary, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I was about to say basically any of these 2-1 teams that get drawn into the second bracket. If you are one of these teams in the bottom bracket, I feel like you do not want most of these teams at all, right? That like if you're XSV, like either the XSV teams, you're praying that you are able to somehow draw like either Conduit Phoenix or Monkey Business, right? You don't want any of these. You don't want Spire, you don't want Iceborne, you don't want TSI, you don't want Dorado. There's not like a lot of easy draws to get left, right? And that's kind of the nature of the beast. As you get closer and closer, as the teams should get closer and closer in strength and parity and power level.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And
go ahead, Billy.
for the last match, it's going to be Team Solo Invade as side selection.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good. Sounds good. Yeah, so both of the teams that lost in the 2-0 bracket are going to have the side selection for the 2-1 bracket. That's kind of interesting. But just to go back to the conversation we were just having, I feel like as far as scary teams in the 2-2 bracket, I feel like interestingly enough, both XSV Envy and Crowd Control in-houses, if they can win that 1-2 match, they could be in a pretty good spot because Envy have already played against both Spire and Dorado. So they wouldn't be able to play against either of those teams if they're in the 2-2 bracket. And CCI have already played against both Team Solo Invade and of course Dorado as well. So if for those two teams, if they can make it into 2-2, their odds of getting an easier opponent are pretty decent.
I said Monkeys had
Yeah.
side selection against Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we were talking about Phoenix, and I actually wrote Phoenix.
No, it was definitely Monkeys, I think, that won that coin
Yeah.
toss.
So,
What do you guys think most competitive in the 2-1 bracket, Storm?
I definitely think this. I think the TSI Spire series should be an absolute banger, to be honest with you. I think that's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Because both of the teams, I feel like, haven't had like their solo lanes like doing as well as they're used to. Like in previous seasons, both these teams have really had like their solo lanes be really strong, like Synthwave, who's now Danny Phantom, I think, or whatever, a couple of seasons ago was really popping off, but hasn't had like any of those really amazing performances on the picks like Jason stuff that they're knowing for. And yeah, we saw tonight, right, that Smoke was just kind of getting a little bit manhandled as well. So I think that series should be really interesting to see who's really going to step up and kind of recapture some of their form.
Looks like Danny Phantom there did have a really nice game on the Gwen tonight. He was 6-1-6 in their game number 2 win that was over in 25 minutes. So, pretty decent performance there. It was against an Ornn, so I guess pretty easy matchup for Gwen. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be interesting for sure. Both those teams, we've seen a lot of inconsistency, I would say, for both TSI and Spire. Glorsnax, which match would you single out as being the most interesting, the most competitive?
Out of the 2-1s, probably Dorado Iceborne. But like real answer is probably Monkeys Phoenix. I was like,
Yeah.
that could just honestly just be like the craziest thing possible, right? It's either or of the Conduit Phoenix after complaining at the beginning of the season about the format, Nation throwing up the riot as well. And now instantly gonna be promoting into the 3-1. Or Monkeys, an org that hasn't been in the limelight a lot recently other than Titan. And honestly, I think it's gonna be great for them.
Great
Uh
opportunity for both of those teams for sure.
yeah, especially, could be a conduit third seed, guys. Come on. Woo! Come on, conduit.
Yeah.
Bully, what do you think? Most competitive match in the 2-1?
It's close. It's either between Monkeys Phoenix or TSI Spire.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I feel like Dorado and Iceborne is actually somewhat close, and I can see Iceborne taking one, maybe two off of Dorado. But I think it's a little bit more Dorado favored. While the other ones, I feel like it's more up in the air.
There we go. Get a little bit more Dorado glaze in there for Zol. Very nice. But yeah, I feel like Dorado definitely pretty dominant tonight. They're going to be riding a good amount of momentum going up into that match against Iceborne. Although Iceborne, as we just discussed, will have the side selection, so maybe that will sway things a little bit more in their favor. But yeah, should we just go ahead and lock in the Monkeys Conduit as the streamed match since we haven't streamed them yet, or should we take a couple days to think it over? What do you think,
Yeah, I think
Bully?
we lock in Monkey's Conduit, and we also tell everyone to find us another streamer so I could do another one.
What would be our 1-2 streamed match, do we think?
Um,
Um,
it's either oh no, we streamed Justice week 1, didn't we?
No, that was
no, that's
Gluttony. We
Gluttony.
streamed Gluttony
Well,
versus
yeah,
Dorado.
it was gonna be Justice, and then we changed it to Gluttony at the last
Yeah.
minute.
So
It was going to be
just
Monkeys
yeah,
versus XG, I think, actually, was our original
Oh,
plan.
oh yeah, that's right.
and then
So I think I think it'd have to be Justice, CCI, put them on the big screen, for the
Yeah.
potential last time for either one of those teams.
Sure, sure. What do you think,
yeah,
Bully?
I'd be fine with that if we could find somebody else for
Yeah,
producing. So that's the main problem as
right.
supply chain issues caused by COVID-19.
COVID-19 got rid of our producers? Oh, man.
I guess so. It's hard to find some nowadays.
That's rough. It's like it brought in more casters, but we lost producers. That's
Yeah, I think
pretty tough.
a lot of the old producers, like like Ulls and things like that, they moved on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, shout out to Alls.
So
I think he's doing really well these days. He's got a nice paying job. I mean, obviously, we're paid well here in Blue Water League as well, but
yeah,
uh, okay, not
that's a
quite. I think
lot.
Alls doing a little bit better now,
You guys are
from what I
paid?
understand.
I got paid in a McChicken
Nice.
for
You
casting
guys are
and
getting paid for this?
producing.
No, that was the
Oh,
casting. You got paid for what was it? Wait, what is this?
Wait, what
I
is
got added.
this?
Hold on.
anyways, definitely some exciting matchups coming up here. I am very excited to stream the Monkeys next week. As we just mentioned a moment ago, we were going to stream them in week 1, but then we kind of switched over to Gluttony versus Dorado at the last minute. So getting the Monkeys on the stream, I think, is going to be really nice.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts here, Storm?
No. You better not disappoint me, Moonshot.
Guys, do
Yeah,
not
we have
read the
to.
stream chat. Do not read the stream chat, actually. Um, there's some nice banter going on.
I'm sure it's very wholesome. Yeah, Storm, he's got those moonshot stonks, so he's still hoping those are going to pay off. Bully, any final words? Any send off for us?
Oh, this Swiss bracket was actually kind of fun.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. I think people are really
even the
enjoying it.
teams that got eliminated, they still has a consolation bracket that has a small prize pool, more than what your entry fee was. So, if you win the whole thing, you actually make money. So, it's not a bad idea to keep practicing up. Also, it's pretty decent practice and show the world that maybe you're not the worst team in Emerald to split. Maybe you're, the ninth best.
Absolutely, yeah. Still something to play for. The prize pool, like you said, and obviously, yeah, pride. Just being able to show that you're better than some of these other teams, I think is definitely worthwhile. But
Yeah.
that is going to do
Yeah.
it for our round 4 draw show. So hope everybody's excited for those matchups next week. And thank you everybody very much for watching. We will see you next time for round 4 of BOL Emerald Season 14. Have a great night.
For many miles, we pretend that time didn't pass us by when we're on Mulholland Drive. I know it won't be long before dawn. Gotta be patient for a while. Someday we look at stars in this same sky. When I'm on the other side. Take me back to the life that we once knew, when the walls weren't closing in like they are now. Cause it's been too many years since California. I wish I could get there, I don't know how. See, one day I'm gonna reach ya, take a plane for many miles. We pretend that time didn't pass us by when we're on Mulholland Drive. I know it won't be long before dawn. Gotta